Hi, welcome to the Board Game Rundown. I'm Spencer,
And I'm Charlie.
and we are here to talk to Charlie about everything Charlie McCarron. It is so much here. Welcome.
Yeah.
It's nice seeing you, meeting you.
Yeah.
First off, I want to say you are like a Renaissance man.
Yeah.
Emmy nominated?
Well, yeah, it's a short film I worked on. I'm a film composer as well. And so one of the short films I worked on got nominated for an Emmy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you write your own music?
I do, yeah. Singer, songwriter, all sorts of styles. Electronic music, too.
And you have a degree in psychology. You have 3 degrees, right?
Well, music composition, I did a psychology minor and
Oh, okay.
computer science minor. But
Wow, it's
Yeah.
such a wide berth. And now we have board games.
yes, yeah, that's one of my newer passions. I've found that in my creative life, I have one thing I really love doing, and then I start doing it and started making money from it, and then I'm like, wait, I need another thing I don't make money from. And so, yeah, it started with video. I wanted to make films, and then I started doing that as my work. So I started making music, and then that film scoring became my work, and then board games, and now I'm starting to work in the board game industry more.
Wow, so are we going to expect a movie on your board games?
Well, I don't know. I mean, actually, we thought about doing some music for
Oh, yeah?
for Humors for the Kickstarter, but we didn't hit that level. But maybe
Oh.
someday.
Yeah, and I know a lot of companies will make music just to play in the background while you're playing certain
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's another venture.
Yeah, and so, for example, like for Humors, I don't know how close you want to get into it or soon
Yeah.
you want to get into it, but
Yeah,
you
sure.
know, I use my music as part of
Oh, that's so
the
cool.
art as well. So I wrote little themes. Anytime you see the bard characters, you're going to see a little piece of music on there too.
And it says you're also an art director. Is that music or art?
The art actually. So I would do sketches, come up with the concepts for these cards. Each of the little scenes has a different scenario that you're playing on.
Wow.
And so I would send sketches to our wonderful artist, Shirley, who is in China. And overnight, she would come back with a beautifully illustrated card.
That is amazing.
So,
And yeah, I love the art on this. So this is For Humors, a game of wits and guts. And
Yeah.
show it there. I know we have a tot down, but like that.
Yeah.
So tell me about For Humors.
Yeah. So I back in probably junior year of high school, learned about this in English class. The 4 humors, they used to think in medieval times that your body fluids would change your personality.
Yep.
And so, if you had too much yellow bile in you, you'd be aggressive. If you had too much red blood in you, you would become extroverted and creative. If you had too much black bile, you're introverted and perfectionistic. And if you had too much phlegm, you'd become kind of complacent, lazy. So, I always ask people, what do you think your personality type is, or combination?
I think it depends
Maybe.
on the time of day.
Time of day? Yeah.
Definitely have enough of the sanguine in it, though. I think you have quite a bit of that as well, creativeness.
I do, yeah. I think each of the characters on these cards has a dual personality.
Oh, very nice.
And so I think of myself as probably a bard character, making music and art. And, a bit of extroversion, but introversion and perfectionism sometimes,
Yeah.
or, just analytical.
Yeah, I'm an ambivert. So
Sure.
at times I'm an extrovert and at times I'm an introvert.
Okay, yeah.
It's hard to tell when that's going to be.
Yeah. So maybe you're a bard too. I think.
Probably.
So, yeah.
So what is the gameplay like? What is the goal of the game?
Yeah, so the gameplay is you have, let me pull these out real quick. You have a bag of secret potion tokens that you keep in your hand, and they're gonna, let me pull out a good example hand. So you have these tokens in your hand, and you're placing them face down on the characters on the scene. And you're trying to decide, let me grab a card here that might be fun to play. Okay, Bloody Hill, here's a big card. So you're deciding, ooh, do I want to make this knight aggressive or kind of patient? And this noble, do I want to make it aggressive or maybe friendly? And the idea is, if there's only one yellow sword on the card, you're going to win the card yourself. But if there's any more than one yellow sword, then you move down the hierarchy into the hearts. And hearts win if there's two or more on the card. And so you could try working together with somebody and say, hey, let's get 2 hearts out there. We'll win this card.
As long as you make certain that there's more than one yellow.
Yeah, more than one yellow or no yellows at all. And then you would look down at the melancholics, which have their own condition, not on this card. And the white hourglasses are the patient ones, and any number of them can win as long as nothing else won above it.
The default win.
Yeah, the default, exactly. That's a good way. I'm going to include that in my pitch now. So everyone's placing these down, and then you reveal them once. But the trick is there's actually 4 cards out here. So you're deciding where you want to invest your time and tokens before the round ends.
So everyone has their own color tokens?
Yep, so everyone will have a bag of different color tokens, placing them down.
Are the tokens a limited resource?
Yes, well, you have a hand of 4. You'll keep redrawing, but really what it is your time is limited, because once 2 cards fill, you resolve everything. So even if a card didn't fill completely, it's going to be resolved. So a little bit of tension there of like, do I want to end it right now? Do I think I'm winning on this card? Or try to extend the game a little more?
Interesting.
And that's one round. And then you would draw out 4 new scenes. And each scene is related to, we have these fun map tiles. There's 6 of them, modular maps. And that's where you score your tokens.
Oh, okay.
So the Bloody Hill you would find up here, and then you get your token there. But the unique thing, why we have this big map, is because 2 people can win at once, or more, possibly. If you work together with 2 hearts, both people would get their token on Bloody Hill, and then it counts for both of you for map connections, area control, that kind of thing.
Like, for instance, if you're on this one, one person puts a heart, 2 people have swords, and 3 are phlegmatic.
Yeah.
The 3 phlegmatics would
3
win.
phlegmatics win. Yeah. This one is particularly bloody because there's so many possibilities
a lot of swords.
For swords that they'll probably kill each other. So each little...
Are they reversible?
The cards?
Oh, okay.
No, but that's funny you ask, because actually almost everything else in the game is reversible. Because we have on the back of this is the kingdom mode, but if you flip it over, everyone has their own personal fiefdoms now in this version. And instead of winning based on the scene, what you're doing is you're trying to find the specific citizen type. So the noble, if you need to fill in this spot, you're trying to make connections and stuff on the map here. But you have to win with a noble to place it on a noble spot, or win with a knight to place it on the knight spot.
Oh yeah, there's a lot in this little box.
There's a lot, yep.
And it has a solo mode.
Solo mode, yes. And you actually use the fiefdom for that, for the solo mode.
Okay.
And you're kind of playing against an AI and they're trying to invade your board here, and you're trying to get as many goals completed as you can before the AI opponent comes in.
So is this one available right now?
It is, yeah.
Awesome.
First time at Gen Con having copies. We showed it last year, and people loved it, but we couldn't give them a copy yet.
So not only this one, but you now also have Alphabet Stoop. That is going to be a Kickstarter coming soon.
Yes, yeah. So Alphabet Stoop, Pops and Bijou is publisher in Fargo, so not too far from me in the Twin Cities in Minnesota.
Okay.
And yeah, so Alphabet Stoop is a word building game, where you have a little mail carrier, and um, I'll just pull this out real quick. So you have mail carriers here.
Letter carriers.
Letter carriers.
There we go.
Yeah, exactly. There, I like it. Yep. And you would fill out these to start the game, and it's kind of an action point system where you're delivering your letters to the different houses. And each of the houses has so it's a big grid of houses out here. And each house will have a vowel on it. So
Yeah,
it
I was
might
noticing
be
the
an
lack
A.
of vowels over there.
Yeah, lack of vowels on your, only consonants that you're delivering. And you have to make words using the vowels that you find on these houses, or possibly magazines, which are wilds. So maybe you would have something like this, and all the tiles are reversible, so you have replayability. Every time you mix them up, it's going to be different per player. So each player has their own color. They're coming over here, and it's an action to move and an action to drop off. So maybe this player comes over here and with one action moves there, and then
He drops all of them off at once, or just however many he wants?
well, one per action point. So I could go
so
one,
there's 3 action
2.
points total.
Yep. And now I've created a word here. And some of each place that you have a word down on is going to give you a victory point, as well as some of the places have map or stamp. Let's see, stamp spots. And when you place a letter there, you put your stamp there. But if someone else comes along and makes a better word, or just at least adds on to your word, they get to replace your stamp with theirs. So you're sort of trying to make a good word that people can't easily replace or mix
Just
around.
adding an S count?
Adding an S counts. Everyone does get one S. And so you got to save your S maybe for the key moment. Yeah. And yeah, it's pretty quick to learn, and I'm excited to be working with Pops and Bijou on it.
Yeah, I love word games. So these are the same publisher or different
publishers. So For Humors is with Adam's Apple
Adam's
Games.
Apple.
Also actually in Minnesota with me. That's how I met them.
Oh, okay.
And if you heard, the Planet Unknown is also Adam's Apple Games.
Yes, definitely.
We sell out in an hour last year, and this year
there
was a big Game Fund campaign for that. So
yeah, we've had fun playing that one.
awesome, yeah.
And which one is this one?
Pops and Bijou. So they have a couple games out. Cultivate is one, and Channel 1 is their other one. So newer publisher, but they have such an awesome art style and branding, and yeah, it's really fun to be working with them on it.
I see these have something 5-letter word and then 2 rails. What does that indicate?
So the first player who can make a 5-letter word or higher will get a letter carrier, or one of these letters, and that allows you to have a wild that you can play at any time. So just a little bonus for making that.
And so here you've made a 3-letter word. The I is still not part of it.
Not part of it yet, but
you could
add it in. Yep.
Or does it have to be one word, or could you use 2 words?
It does have to be one word. Yep.
Okay. So right now it's more like
map. Yeah, it's like that. So I would have taken these,
maybe
put them on the sidewalk. Boom. Yeah. So yeah, it's a.
No, I don't think I can get a word out of those. So if I can add a letter, I can make it work.
yeah. So you'd probably be coming along and thinking, okay, what could I? And you can rearrange them too if you need to.
Oh, good. Yeah. But you have to keep the ones that are already on there.
Yep. Have to add to it. Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, and what are these?
Oh, so those are the magazines. Those are wild. Any letter you want. So how the game setup works, you have all the houses out there, and then you're distributing randomly. So you might get a wild magazine or a vowel.
And how does the game end?
Game ends as soon as someone gets 9 points, either by getting onto 9 houses, or each stamp counts as a point as well. So you could try for the stamp places, but you're probably going to get replaced at some point. And
Come in for that last second win.
yep. And the alternate end is if you deliver all of your packages before anyone else.
Oh, so when the start of the game, all of your letter carriers are in front of you,
Yep.
and so when I move one here, it stays here until I move it somewhere else, or does it return back to me?
Yeah, well, you can use, they'll be all out at a time. It's like,
Okay.
everything's moving, but you could move one over here. You could combine two, if you're like, oh shoot, I really need
Oh yeah.
an N and a G to make ing or something. And, yep,
Okay, yeah, I like it a lot.
yeah.
So you're sort of a freelance agent because you're working with 2 different publishing companies.
Yep. I'm
And
actually working with 3.
3 different.
Well,
what is this third one?
So Floodgate Games.
Oh,
I
yes,
work with
Floodgate.
also a Minnesota company, so I've been doing some development work and design work.
They do Sagrada, right?
Yeah, so I was not a part of that. I've recently joined them, but so my games are more behind the scenes right now, but they'll be coming out soon.
So you have upcoming games. Is there
Yes.
anything you can tell us about those?
Yeah, I can tell Skyrockets is announced. So that is a spiritual sequel to the game Kites,
Okay.
sand timer cooperative game, and you're trying to keep the sand timers alive. And so I was helping develop that and created the campaign version for Skyrockets. Is 30 unique little campaign games you can play
Oh wow.
using that idea of the sand timers.
Yeah, I remember playing that one. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that gets hectic.
Yeah. And something we did a little differently with Skyrockets is now it's not always frantic. I mean, it is because they're sand timers, but there's a little bit different system where you strategically might want to wait a little bit on some of them, so it's not just instant fast card play.
Yeah, have you played Pendulum?
I haven't yet, but I heard about it, so
Yeah.
maybe I got to check that out.
Yeah, because it has parts where you can't do something if the sand timer is active, so you've got to wait and then flip it so someone else can do it. Things like that.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
that sounds.
Yeah.
You have any other upcoming projects, board game or not?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm always working on probably 10 to 20 random projects between music and board games. I mean, film world, I'm actually helping score a Star Wars fan film right now. The Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh wow.
A kid wanted to be in a Star Wars movie, so in Minnesota, we got a crew together and we were, really, they did an awesome job with making like an entire scene from the Death Star. Like they made a set that looks exactly like the Death Star,
Oh, that's so
Stormtrooper
cool.
outfits and everything. And so I'm helping write the music for that.
That's amazing.
And they even said, hey, you can use John Williams' themes in there if you want. So, maybe our names will be in there with John Williams in the credits.
Not many people can say that.
Nope,
Oh,
nope.
that is exciting.
So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what else is in your future. You've got so
Thanks.
much. What's your next venture going to be?
I don't know. Yeah, I need to find something that is my hobby that I don't make money from, right?
Well, you can always give the games away for free, but
Oh, sure. Well, I do actually, if you were to go to my site, I do have some print and plays that people could try
Oh,
out.
okay. And I notice is that your little bag over there?
Yep. So this is, I forgot to say, this is our new expansion for Four Humors,
Oh, okay.
the Leeches expansion. Because everyone was like, are there leeches in this game about medieval pharmacy? Yes, and now
there
we
are.
finally do have the leeches. They add a little twist to the game where you're trying to predict. So when someone has a token face down, I'm thinking like, you probably played a sword there, didn't you? And I spend a leech token to say, okay, let's flip it and see. And if I was right, then that removes your sword. I could play on it,
Oh.
that spot.
Gets
But
rid of
if
the
I
bad
was,
blood.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep. But if I was wrong, then you keep your token and you get my leech, and now you have more leeching power.
Oh, so
So-
they're also a limited resource.
Also limited, yes.
Very nice.
And it adds a new objective to try to get the most leeches on correct guesses.
So if I put one down and I'm correct, I get the leech back, or it stays there.
It stays there, so you.
Okay.
Yeah, they run out eventually.
Okay.
But it's fun because it adds a new dynamic. You know, for humors, you can play, and you actually could play completely silently. It's more fun if you do some table talk and like
Yeah.
joking about it. But the leeches now add another element of like table talk and trying to. It's like a second level of bluffing now because you don't want to do just the obvious play because someone can call you on it and say like, oh, you obviously put a sword there. I'm calling you.
So if I called you out on the sword, you had a sword, I remove it. Could I put my sword there?
Yeah, you could. And then someone else is like, you probably put a sword there. I'm going to leech you.
So I would not put the sword to catch
Yeah,
you,
to
but
try
then
to-
mine would stay there.
Yeah.
So, oh, well, I lost out on the sword, but
Yep.
but I got a leech.
Yep. So yeah, I'm excited to play this more with people.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the components look nice.
Yeah, so these little potion holders, that was Adam's invention. He also designed, like all of his games have some sort of unique component that he designs. And these potion holders, we'll have those available online. We already sold out of them at Gen Con.
Oh, wow.
In the original Kickstarter run that they came with it for the deluxe version. But now we're into the retail.
So normally you would just get the chit here?
Yep. Which totally works. It's the same game
Yeah.
and everything. But yeah, it's nice to have a little upgrade for your protecting your potions and
Yeah,
stuff.
and these are nice and thick cardboard.
Yes, those are the party tiles.
Party tiles.
One party tile for each type, and those are always out. They resolve in the same way as these cards, except that they're long-term investments. So they only start triggering once people are completing goals. For every goal completed, you resolve one of the party tiles, and then once all 6 are resolved, that's the end of the game.
Oh, a new
So
way
it's
of
a
ending the
timer.
game.
Yep.
Oh, and well, they are reversible, but they're the same on both sides.
Double-sided.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, there's even more in this box.
There's so much more. This is my game baby. I put a lot of time, and Adam and I spent a lot of time figuring out what the art should be, what the bonus cards should be. We had a bunch of different Kickstarter bonus cards too that people helped with, and part of that was like animal cards for the scenes.
Wow, okay.
So these are wilds you can place them anywhere in the region, and they work the same way, but they're just fun animals. And there's also alternate art.
And you have player guides.
Yep.
Those are always nice. Player
Yep.
aids. Yeah. More games need to have player aids. All games should have player aids.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, is there anything else that I've missed that we should know?
So, I think, I'm just pleasure to be on your show. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
And hopefully you can come back. I mean, you've got more games coming up in the future, so
Yes. Definitely. Yeah.
All right. I think I mispronounced your name at the beginning. It's McCarron.
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 Yeah.
Charlie McCarron.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm terrible with names. I apologize.
That's all right. That's all right.
All right. So I think that's it. So
Okay.
I hope anyone who's here at Gen Con, what booth are you currently at?
Oh, I should remember this. I had to. They were like, you should tattoo it on your arm. I think it was 2768.
2768?
Somewhere around there. We're actually just by the men's bathroom, way in the back. So.
Is that the Adam's Apple, or is that
Yep,
the...
Adam's Apple.
Okay.
Yep. And then Pops and Bijou is actually just a couple rows behind us.
Awesome.
So,
You should go back and forth between them.
yeah. I've been peeking over there to see how it's going.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
And for the Board Game Rundown, I'm Spencer,
And I'm Charlie.
and I hope to see you guys soon.